Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Now is an amazing time to get started with War and Order or to go ahead and start over on a new realm. I'm on 1544. Meet me there. The realm is relatively new. I think it's been around for 2.5 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks. I've been playing for about 3 or 4 days. My main has been building up to 20. It's doing great. And now I'm mostly focused on my farms. So, really, over the past few days, I've been focused on building up my farms to the point where I can start gathering resources to help my main out. The game right now, and one of the reasons why it's a great time to get started, is the game gives you so many rewards as a new player, especially in a new realm like 1544. And that will allow you to build up pretty fast and to catch up to everybody. No one's super high. I would say the average player is in the 15 to 21, around there, level. And when it's a new realm, there are a lot of incentives to get started and to push you up. There's a lot of free things, as you see as I'm clicking through here. And I know I've sped this up just to not bore you with all my farm adventure here. But literally, I'm not spending any money on my farms. I'm just taking what the game gives me, which is just all the speed ups and gems and everything else you get at the beginning. There's so many little quests that you can do. What I really like to do with the farm is I like to take one farm at a time to level 14 or 15 and then go ahead and get it going with the gathering. Just check it every 3 hours or so, and just to make sure that it's continuously gathering. And then I go ahead and I switch over to the second farm and then I build it up to that level, and then now I have two going. I get the rhythm down with both of them. I log into, one, set it to gather. I log into the next one, set it to gather. Now, once I get both of them up to 14 or 15, now I do my third account, and I do this up to 4 accounts. Anything over 4 for me is too much to manage. I know some people go crazy and they have like these huge farms. I'm not able to keep up with them and keep them from just being destroyed, or getting to the point where I miss a few days and then they get wiped out and I lose all the resources. So with 4 farms, I'm able to keep up with it pretty well. And with 4 farms, I only need about 15 to 20 minutes per account per day, to log in at the beginning, especially because the gather times are a lot shorter. So just to log into each of the accounts, set them up, make sure that, I'm doing all the other things to keep that account building. I'm still, you know, um, training more troops and making sure that my medic tents and everything else is coming. Before I get too far on that, let me step back and explain actually how a farm works. A farm is a secondary account that you use to gather resources for your main account. You build it up enough to at least farm the resources you want it to get. So if you're only going to get food, you don't have to take the farm very high. I say 14 or 15 because I want to be able to use all my farms to gather iron. Let's say at some point, iron is going to be a limiter, right? So you're going to want as much ability to gather that resource as you can. So you want to be able to get your farms high enough so that they can gather the resources that you want. Next, the things you want to do that you want to focus on is you only want to train tier 2 cavalry. Only, nothing else. This is the most efficient troop type for gathering. And when they're killed, they're super easy to replace because eventually your farm is going to get wiped out. Someone's going to hit it. They're going to speed hit it. They're going to hit it when you miss it, sending them out to gather. At some point, it's going to get hit, and you need to be ready to rebuild it, right? And if you only lost tier 2 calf up, over your hospital limit, it's not too bad to build those back up. You'll want to train all your barracks to level 4. You don't have to go any higher than level 4. That way you can have all 4 of them going, continuously training more troops. You'll also want to research load boost in the college, and it's in resources, in the resources section. And train up the various other resource gathering skills. You'll want those. And they'll just help you gather more and gather faster. You'll also want to train Legion in the military branch in the college for that extra march, which you're going to need pretty soon. Once you go over your first full march, you'll want a second march to send out. And then actually, you'll need it before then, because you'll hit nodes that it won't require a ton of troops to actually gather from that node. So you'll want to send multiple marches out. So you'll want those. You'll want to get your VIP up as well for a march. You'll want to do anything. You want to get up to your 4th march for sure, as quick as you can. You'll also want to train your hospital and medic tents up. You train them as you go, as you're building more and more troops. You'll want to keep those medic tents in the hospital up with you, so that your hospital can hold the number of troops, or very close to the number of total troops that you have. So when, I'm not going to say if, when they're killed, the majority, all or at least the majority of them will end up wounded, and you can easily heal them. It's a lot better than having to retrain them. You'll also want to level up the training grounds so that you can build more troops at a time. That's really important, because you want to be able to train up over time. So there's going to be times when you're at school, when you're at work, when you're out for dinner, when you're asleep, that you can't just check every 2-3 hours. So you want to be able to train up a large number of troops during that time period. So get your training grounds up so that you can build more. Don't worry about building your guardian temples or leveling up barracks beyond level 4. Your goal is to be very efficient with each of your farms so that they can perform their purpose of providing your main account with resources. So what you do, really, this is the easiest, this is the basic thing. You have these alternate accounts, you gather, then you send their troops away. They could be farming, they could be in their farm alliance's fort. They could be, just sent to another player within their farm, whatever. And you attack that farm account with your main account, and you take those resources away. So it's a very efficient way for you to quickly build up your main account without having to purchase a lot of resources. The more farms you have and that you're able to maintain, the faster you can grow your main account. All right. So that's my update for today. I hope it helps. Take care.